Imagine walking through a bustling street in New Delhi. The air is warm and filled with the rich aroma of roasting spices, sandalwood, and sweet jasmine flowers. All around you, thousands of people move past in vibrant colors. But if you look closely at the women passing by, your eyes will instantly notice one shared detail: a small, striking red dot right in the middle of their foreheads. To a visitor from another part of the world, this mark looks like a simple beauty trend or a decorative sticker. Some might even wonder if it is a permanent tattoo. But if you think this is just a quick morning makeup choice, you are missing one of the most fascinating cultural and historical journeys in human history. Because that little red mark, known most commonly as a bindi, has spent over 3,000 years evolving. It has been a sacred spiritual key, a sign of royal status, a symbol of marriage, a battlefield mark, and even a global fashion statement. But that wasn't the strangest part. To understand why millions of women wear this mark every single day, we have to go back to ancient times, long before modern beauty products existed. The ancient energy center. To find the true origin of the bindi, we must look into the world of ancient Indian philosophy and human anatomy. Thousands of years ago, long before modern medicine discovered how the human nervous system works, ancient Indian thinkers developed a system of energy centers in the human body called chakras. They believed the human body was filled with invisible pathways of energy. Where these pathways crossed, powerful centers were formed. Right between the eyebrows, just above the bridge of the nose, sat the sixth primary center, the ajna chakra. In the ancient language of Sanskrit, the word ajna roughly translates to command or perceive. Ancient scholars believed this spot was the seat of human intuition, wisdom, and concentration. It was often described as the third eye. While your two physical eyes look outward at the visible world, this third eye looks inward toward spiritual truth and deep thought. So, why put red powder there? Ancient thinkers believed that everyday life drains human energy. Worry, stress, and noise constantly pull our mental strength outward. Placing a cool paste or natural powder on this exact spot was believed to act as a shield. It kept sacred energy inside the body, calm and focused. It sounded like a perfect spiritual concept. But as centuries passed, this quiet meditation practice transformed into something much more dramatic. From sacred powder to social codes. As Indian society developed, the red mark shifted from a purely private, spiritual tool into a clear social language. Originally, the mark was applied using a red powder called kumkum. This powder was made naturally by mixing dried turmeric root with lime juice or slaked lime. A chemical reaction instantly turned the bright yellow turmeric into a rich, deep red. Sometimes people used red sandalwood paste or ashes from sacred fires. Over time, wearing the mark became a daily ritual, but different colors and shapes began to tell completely different stories about the person wearing them. A red dot eventually became deeply connected with married women. In traditional Indian culture, red is not just a bright color. It represents power, passion, love, and life itself. When a woman married, a red dot was applied to her forehead during the wedding ceremony. It signaled to the entire community that she was married, prosperous, and the protector of her household's well-being. If a woman's husband passed away, ancient customs often required her to stop wearing the red dot altogether. In some traditional communities, a plain white ash mark was worn instead to represent grief and simplicity. However, marriage was not the only reason to wear a mark on the forehead. Men wore them too. Ancient warriors applied red marks before marching into battle to call upon courage and victory. Kings wore elaborate gold or red marks during coronation ceremonies to signal their divine authority. Spiritual seekers wore distinct shapes, like horizontal lines or vertical U-shapes, to show which Hindu deity they dedicated their lives to. By medieval times, a single glance at someone's forehead could tell you their marital status, their social group, their region of origin, and even their personal spiritual beliefs. It was an ancient visual identity card written right on the skin. bizarre coincidences, and kings. As the practice spread, kings and noble families began turning the humble dot into a display of unimaginable wealth. Instead of simple red powder, royal women began sticking precious jewels to their foreheads. Historical records show that queens and princesses wore real pearls, rubies, and diamonds held in place with natural tree sap or wax. The size and shine of the jewel on a woman's forehead directly reflected her family's fortune. Then came unexpected historical encounters that changed how foreigners viewed the practice. When European traders and travelers first arrived in India during the 16th and 17th centuries, they were deeply baffled by the red dots. Some early European visitors wrote in their journals that Indian women were wearing strange bloody marks, or mystical royal seals. One popular legend among early foreign traders suggested that the red dot originated from an ancient wedding tradition, where the groom drew a mark using his own blood to show a lifelong bond. While historians generally agree this blood story is a dramatic myth rather than a common reality, it shows how intensely this small red mark captured the imagination of outsiders. The chemical revolution, that should have been the end of the story, a traditional practice continuing quietly through the generations. Instead, a tiny invention in the 20th century completely changed the bindi forever. For centuries, applying a bindi required patience. You had to mix natural powders, dip your finger or a small wooden stamp, and carefully apply it without smudging. If you sweated in the tropical heat, the red powder would run down your nose. Then came the mid-20th century, bringing with it modern materials and fast-paced living. In the 1970s, an Indian businessman named Vasant Gokhale introduced a revolutionary product, the sticker bindi. Made from soft felt fabric with a skin-safe adhesive backing, these self-adhesive dots could be applied in less than 2 seconds. They didn't smudge, they didn't bleed in the rain, and they were incredibly cheap. Practically overnight, the ancient spiritual tradition met modern convenience. Suddenly, the red dot was no longer just a traditional red circle. Sticker bindis flooded the markets in every shape, size, and color imaginable. Women could buy black, green, gold, or silver bindis decorated with glitter, plastic pearls, and intricate velvet patterns to match their daily clothes. The modern identity shift. Today, if you visit India or watch a Bollywood film, you will see how dramatically the meaning of the bindi has evolved. In modern times, the strict traditional rules surrounding the red dot have softened significantly. Today, young unmarried women wear bindis simply as an elegant fashion accessory. Modern widows are no longer forced by social rules to abandon them. Women wear them to work, to college, and to formal celebrations. It has transformed from a mandatory social requirement into a personal choice, a proud connection to cultural heritage and timeless beauty. What began thousands of years ago as a quiet meditation mark designed to protect human energy has survived centuries of empire, colonization, and modernization. It proved that a simple dot of color on the forehead can carry the weight of an entire civilization's history. So, the next time you see a red dot on an Indian woman's forehead, you will know you aren't just looking at a makeup choice. You are looking at a 3,000-year-old story of energy, tradition, love, and human identity. What surprised you the most about this story? Let me know in the comments below, and check out another hidden chapter of history on our channel.